Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. NFL Week 13 upsets to bet. It's Thanksgiving week, but we don't stop. We chase the plus money. Last week, we got the Cowboys. I got some good ones in store if you like getting that plus money. Let's get to the first game, and this one is scary, but I think it's worth exploring. We got the San Francisco 49ers at the Cleveland Browns. Browns are +5. When we picked the Browns +6 yesterday, we saw that move down a full point. We're not going to do the Browns +5. We're going to do the Browns to win and combine it with the under 36.5 for a +440. Listen, the only way the Browns win this game is if it's a low-scoring game. I liked what Shedeur did. We all saw him roll right and throw that dime that completely changed the landscape of the game against the Raiders. We know the Browns offense still has their limitations. The offensive line's not great. And we know the San Francisco 49ers defense has their limitations. So I think the Browns can do enough to win this game. But this game comes down to Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was extremely shaky against the Carolina Panthers. That's about as bad a performance as you can get. Anytime he threw it over 10, 15 yards, it seemed like you had to close your eyes and it would be an interception. I feel like Brock Purdy in this spot is someone we can get against, especially if we're getting plus money. And I mentioned this whole year, ever since week 4, week 5, this San Francisco defense is completely beaten up. What Salah's done to patch this together has been absolutely amazing and outstanding. And you saw them get stop after stop against Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. I'm not saying the Panthers are any sort of juggernaut on offense, but we still have to tip the cap, and it was a rather impressive performance. And another thing that adds to this situation, this spot, so to speak. I'm not a big home road split guy. You guys know I'm not that way. But this Browns defense is always more dominant at home than they are on the road. This is dated back 2, 3, 4 years, ever since Jim Schwartz has been the defensive coordinator. I also think the 49ers have some issues on the defensive line. Yes, you're going to see Christian McCaffrey a lot. Yes, you're going to see him in the pass game. But I think this Browns defense is going to be down to play. And I don't like using this type of stuff, but I do feel like Shedeur Sanders gave this team an emotional lift. And last aspect of this game, the weather's not going to be good, boys. We're looking at 30, 34 degrees, maybe precipitation, wind gusts up to 20 as of right now. I'm recording on Wednesday, but if this weather gets worse, the under 36.5, I like it regardless, but I think the Browns can steal this game, and at +440, why not roll the dice? Why not do it? Give me the Browns under 36.5 plus the Browns win against the 49ers. I do feel like the 49ers are due for a letdown spot. I know they've been playing better as of late. I know that Monday night performance probably impressed a lot of people if you just looked at the score Monday morning. But I got to say, man, I was not impressed, and I'm still worried about the San Francisco 49ers, even with their good coaching. Next game, we got the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. Texans +4.5. Listen, I get it. If you're skittish to take the Texans with the spread here, because we know the Colts have been on the road the last 3 weeks, and when the Colts play at home on that fast track, that offense can get rolling, and if Jonathan Taylor gets rolling, it's an absolute machine and juggernaut. That's why I think the safer bet is just to go Texans plus 195 money line. This is a Texans team that's playing for their life. This is an Alamo situation for them. We saw what they did against the Bills. We were not surprised what they did against the Bills. We got on here last week and we said the Texans had a great chance of winning that game. And I think they also have a great chance, because we're starting to see the old Daniel Jones come back, man. And I've never been a Daniel Jones hater. I've always felt like he's gotten kind of the raw end of the deal, but he is limited. And if you look at the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's rated between 25th and 29th best quarterback in the league. And he's thrown up a lot of interception-worthy passes this year that have been dropped, that have just been luck, that they weren't picked. And we're starting to see Shane Steichen clamp up on offense. Earlier in the year, there was lots of play action, lots of Daniel Jones throwing, lots of Daniel Jones getting outside the pocket and throwing it with confidence and gusto. I do wonder, after last week, after the last few weeks, is Daniel Jones' confidence just stuttered? And when you talk about the Houston Texans, I've been saying it since week 1, and nothing has really changed my opinion. This is the best damn defense in the league, and this defense can win games alone. And you bring CJ Stroud back. Now, there's been some talk, people saying, oh, Davis Mills, he's on a winning streak with the Texans. He's a better option for the Houston Texans. Does anyone really believe that? Does anyone really believe that? I certainly don't believe that. And if this Texans defense sells out to stop the run, they did pretty good against the Bills team and James Cook. James Cook just had that one big run, but after that, they were able to stifle him and keep the Bills in bad situations. Also, when this Colts team gets one-dimensional, when Jonathan Taylor isn't going off for 100, 150 yards, I'm not in love with their pass blocking sets. We saw them get beat time in and time again against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who haven't been great rushing the passer this year, even with all the talent they had. I think this Colts offensive line is vulnerable if they throw it. I think Daniel Jones is vulnerable if Jonathan Taylor doesn't go for 100+ yards. Give me the Texans on the money line. I understand if the 4.5's too risky, because we know the Colts are front runners. They're great in the red zone. They're great when they get rolling. But we saw that second half against the Chiefs. And this Texans defense is much better than what they faced last Sunday. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Seattle Seahawks. Vikings plus 11. It's 11.5 now. When we money picked the Seahawks yesterday, it was -10. No, guys, I'm not going the Vikings to cover this game. No, I'm not in the Max Brosmer vibe. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go under 13.5 team total for the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm going to go Seattle to cover the spread for plus 200. And this makes a lot of sense to me, man. This is the Vikings offense that's struggling. And I'm even starting to see Justin Jefferson and Addison give up on plays. And if J.J. McCarthy was throwing you the pill, I think you would be rather frustrated as well. And you get Brosmer coming into this game. He's a little bit of an unknown entity. He only played 1 year of, what is it, FBS football, the main NCAA one. And we don't know a lot about him. We saw him a little bit in preseason, and he didn't show much. And with the way J.J. McCarthy has played this year, if Brosmer had anything in him, wouldn't he have gotten the call by now? The way Carson Wentz was injured, wouldn't KOC have put in Brosmer after Wentz got absolutely beat up and destroyed against the Chargers? I just can't see a lot of offensive movement for my Minnesota Minnesota Vikings. And I know the Vikings are game and fit on defense. And I know Sam Darnold struggles against pressure. You're going to say Lawson. Brian Flores practiced against Sam Darnold every single week last year. He knows what it takes to stop him and keep him uncomfortable. I completely agree, but Seattle has run-pass balance, and this is a Vikings secondary that has been rather poor this year. The Vikings aren't getting the same type of pass rush this year as opposed to last year. You remember Van Ginkel the year previous? He was having damn near Defensive Player of the Year performances week in and week out. We just haven't seen it. So when you get this Vikings secondary going up against Smith and Jigba, going up against a Seattle offense that's well coached, that uses run-pass balance, I just see the Seahawks being able to cover this spread, and I'm not sure the Vikings are going to be able to conjure anything on the offensive side of the football. The last factor of this, one thing the Vikings have done well during the KOC era, ever since he's been head coach, is the Vikings have always been able to get a run game going. Guys, I can't see the Vikings getting a run game going to make Brosmer's life easy. So let's make this simple. Give me the Vikings under 13.5 team total. Seahawks cover the spread plus 200. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Guys, I'll try to get the player props up Friday. Before the Black Friday game, so just keep updated on that. Keep sharing the videos. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving.